Hello and welcome to Sobrix. I'm Adam and this is Sobrix. This is my channel for reviewing LEGO sets and building them and other LEGO related stuff. In this video, I'm going to be taking another and hopefully final look at the brand new LEGO Collectible Mini Figures Series 27. These are numbered as 71048. They have various amounts of pieces, one minifigure in each box, and I paid $5 for each box, and there are 12 to collect. I've already done a video where I opened up 6 of them. Had some really great ones, some of the ones I was most looking forward to based on leaks and different things and official images and whatever. And some of these really delivered. I think overall I've been pretty happy with this. Some of these are like more or less than others, but I do have 6 more, and provided I don't get any duplicates, because I was trying to scan the codes on the bottom, so I think I'm okay. Then I'll have all 12 and I can kind of rank them and everything here. So that's what I'm gonna do in this video, kind of open these up, put them together, give my quick thoughts, and then go from there. So we will get right into it. And there's still some that I haven't opened yet that weren't in the first round that I am really looking forward to, and this is one of them. This is exciting. I think this one should be, I don't know if this is going to be really that recognizable. I don't know if I've seen this done it kind of made to look like this, but I think it works pretty well. And if you've seen my videos for a while, there's some kind of reasons that I will say that I was really excited about this one. I just thought it was a great idea and is cool here. So this one is the Boogeyman, or a Boogeyman. And so this is kind of like a monster, kind of a mythical creature, or urban legend, kind of, maybe at various points in history has been said to be based on real people or real phenomena or something like that. But it's often used to scare kids, or in some cases those kinds of things are used to instill like important life lessons in kids, that using sort of fear and something that's not real and fiction to kind of get them to act in a certain way. Anyway, it's a Boogeyman here. So this is really cool. And the first thing we'll look at is the accessory here. So it is this book. Now, I love horror. I love horror movies and horror books, and it's like my haunted houses and stuff like that. It's my favorite genre. There's not a ton of LEGO horror stuff, but when there is, I really like to call that out. And there have been, versions of that throughout the years, and Hidden Side was kind of in that vein and stuff like that. And so cool to see this here. So this is printed. It's the book piece. It's got kind of a moon and maybe it almost looks like trees or something, and some bats going on there, and it says boo, maybe something like the ghost says, or maybe the Boogeyman says that. So that's printed. In the inside we have a little bit of a printed tile here with some story, once upon a time something, and then we have a kind of silhouette or shadow of the type of Boogeyman here as well, which is very cool. And then looking at the figure itself, this, as far as I know, is like a new headpiece. So there's no minifigure head underneath here. It just goes right into there, kind of like a Chewbacca head almost, or something like that. But I think maybe taller at the end of the day. And so really nice shape. You can see kind of these ruffles for like fur or hair, or I don't know what else it could be in this version. Maybe the Boogeyman is like a real physical entity, rather than kind of a more ethereal one, I should say. But The face printing is really, really good. The molding for the head is really cool, but I love the face printing. We got kind of glowing eyes, little interesting eyebrows. There is the mouth, and there's even like a uvula back there. It's a little bit hard for me to see, but I can see it in the original image. It's a little hard to capture on camera too because of the contrast there. Teeth actually look pretty white, which is good. Nice tongue there. Good colors all throughout the mouth. I think the face design is nice because it's not maybe overly scary, and it doesn't, I don't think is intended to be. It's sort of got a cuteness to it. It's got sort of a friendly character to it in this that I appreciate. We do add some of these horns, these kind of angled barb pieces up here, so we can add those. And overall, I think the headpiece is really nice. And then underneath that, we kind of have a pretty relatively plain sort of torso, arms and legs here, but we'll see that we have kind of the definition of maybe some fur, the outline of a shadow or something for the like more stomach area up at the chest, some different definition there. Nothing on the arms, nothing on the midsection. We do have printing on the legs, so again, kind of maybe some fur at various points, as well as some claws maybe on the feet there. Looking at the back, very, very minimal detail there. So not like the most detailed character, but the new head and the printing on the head I think is especially good. And then the printed tiles and book cover pieces there for the accessory I think are really, really nice and useful and fun. So I really like this. I think it's a great idea. I don't know if maybe printing on the back of this would have been nice. I mean, just this kind of character, similar to almost the costume characters, there's sort of they sort of necessitate sort of maybe less detail or not as involved. So this totally works for me. I think this is great, and this is one of the ones I was really, really excited for because of my affinity for the horror genre. So great to get that one there, and I will cross that off, and we will keep moving on to the next one, and we'll see if we get some other stuff. Okay, so this is maybe will be nice to contrast this actually to some of the other ones in here, because this is one I was like, I guess I was mixed on this one. I could go either way, and okay. So this is the hamster costume fan, and this is, I think, they do the like dinosaur costume fans, and I think for a while they did like, there's a chili pepper and there's a banana and there's a hot dog, and they're like food costume fans as well. I think they did like that, I thought like UFO costume fan sort of for the space one or something like that. But this one is a hamster. I thought hamster, gerbil, some other sort of small cuddly rodent that's used as a pet. And I don't know how many animals they have done. I believe there have been other just like, I don't know if there's been a llama costume fan or something, which would be kind of cool. But they have done other animals that aren't like dinosaurs, for example. And so this, I don't remember the last time they did that, but this is sort of in that vein. So cool to get those back. We do have a little bit of a gerbil treat here, which is, I think, a new printed tile. You do get an extra of those, so that is good for the hand there. Headpiece is really nice, actually. It's got a really good feel to it and some good detail. So this is dual molded. We can see the couple colors in there. So I believe this white through here is molded, as well as the little teeth that kind of hang out over the cutout for the face, which is super, super cute, really well considered and executed here. The kind of patterning and coloration for the head works really well. Kind of this, the cheeks area there, kind of over hanging, I think, is really good. We have printing for the nose, printing for the eyes, got the ears up here. Back of this is pretty basic, but this is really, really nice. It's just got a good feel, good production work on that, so I like to see that. Underneath that, we have one face here, maybe someone on the younger side. They have kind of some freckles there. They're laughing. And then we have another one here with a slightly different expression. Looking at the torso, good color consistency, and then we have kind of just the pretty basic tuft of fur for the color there. I think it's supposed to be kind of pinkish. I don't believe it's supposed to be just purely white, kind of for the belly area there. So that is good choice. We have the dual molded arms here, so that's very good, as well as the kind of pink hands for maybe their little toes or feet or whatever. So it's really trying to make this kind of quote-unquote realistic, or mirror some of the attributes of a hamster or something in the way that they can. We have the smallest legs, so no midsection that doesn't bend at the hip. So these are the shortest legs that they make like that. They are dual molded, however, so you can kind of see that on the side. And then they do have printing kind of for the toes or the feet there. Looking at the back of the torso, we just have a little tuft of fur there for the tail. Maybe would have been nice to actually see that printed on the back of the legs there or something, to kind of finish that out. But you know, it is a costume and I can forgive some of that. I just think it maybe would have been a little better if it wasn't so like harsh of a cutoff, wasn't just like a straight line across there. So if it was printed on kind of the back of the legs, that would have been cool. I don't see that very often. I think a lot of times they don't print on the back of the legs. They could, but part of it is if that's like a connection point, it might wear off and whatever, and there's not as much real estate on like the bendable legs because of the connection points and stuff like that. On these shorter legs, they could do that. I mean, they could do it on just the average legs as well, or stuff, but I think they would be more likely to do it for something like this, and this would have been a good excuse to do that. But here is the hamster costume fan, and looking at that, like, yeah, these compared, or these three and the pterodactyl, like the torsos, the legs, they're not necessarily lacking detail. They have stuff there, but they're not as detail dense, and not as many fine details, like not nearly as much going on. They don't need as much going on. But like one of the things I really appreciated about the cat person figure was like the hair on the legs and the midsection and stuff there, and these just are a little more basic in that sense, but cool to get that. Going on to the next one. Okay, I know what this is. I believe I know what this is. So that is good to see. And what would be in here? Aha, I see. Okay. So here we have, oh wow, okay. I like that. This has kind of not a skirt piece necessarily, but a kind of piece that goes on the minifig legs instead of like around the neck piece. But good to get like a new cloth piece. Sometimes I have trouble putting these ones on. And let's see if I can get that to work and lay down well. Okay. Nice. Oh, wow. Okay, so we have that. We have a character here. Something like that. All right, interesting. I don't know if this will have, this will be one of those things where purists or people who are really into like this kind of sub theme will have issues for this, but I frankly think this is pretty cool, so I'm happy with that. And this is the pirate quartermaster figure. I would say this is like a more feminine presenting kind of character there. It could be something other than that as well, but that's just my instinct looking at this. But I'd like to think that these can be whatever. So a pirate quartermaster, people who are really into the pirate kind of Lego stuff might be very thankful for this, maybe as thankful or grateful as castle people might be for the Wolfpack Beastmaster stuff. So this is another kind of solid homage to older Lego, but also updating it here. And one of the updates is the bird here. So this is like a Lego parrot, but I think it's supposed to be slightly different. If it's like a I don't know, cockatiel or something. So it has the crown with those ridges there. That is potentially its own molded bit, or it could also be just printed there. So for the most part, the body of this looks like other like parrot type pieces, or is it like the same kind of mold, but we do have the extra stuff up here. The beak area might be a little different as well. Do have the printing for the eyes, as well as some other like a little spot there, which is very cool, and the other side is very much the same. So I think this is a new bird. Always love to see new Lego animals in there. And then looking at the pirate character themselves, we can see they do have like a cutlass here, or a sword for an accessory. And the hairpiece here is dual molded. So if I pop this off, you can see kind of the red and the black there. I believe that is red. Kind of has a bushier hairstyle with sort of a bandana or a wrap kind of going around their head. This is a really, really nice hairpiece. I hope to see that used more. I think it might be new or unique to this. Very cool. So here we have one face, which again seems sort of feminine presenting to me, but could be different. We have a different expression here. You can see how that frames up with the hair there, something like that, which looks quite good. So that's good. Looking at the torso, they are wearing kind of some pirate garb. They have maybe they have a belt with a buckle and maybe a compass in there, or a pocket watch or something, a little chain over here. They have kind of a layer under the belt. Then they have kind of the shirt layer and maybe something under that as well, or maybe that's kind of a vest. They also have this nice kind of chain, which actually reminds me very much of the sort of Pirates of the Caribbean type necklace from Curse of the Black Pearl. I don't know if that's an intentional reference or just supposed to reference something else, but that's really good up there. So those like gold accents really, really pop. Looking at the arms, I believe we have dual molded arms, and then this is interesting. We have printing that makes it look kind of like a dot sort of gradient to make the sleeves almost look like they're tattered a little bit or have like holes in them, or maybe that there's like lace on these sleeves. So that's a really nice technique. I'm not sure if it's going to show up on camera here, but seeing it in person is really, really cool. So I think they are dual molded, and then have the yellow printing on top of the white. And actually I can see that they are dual molded because I can kind of see the mold line. But then they do have that extra printing, and it looks really, really good. This one has maybe like a pearl sort of bracelet there, and just the forearms are kind of bare. The other side has a different sort of bracelet, kind of gold here, so some asymmetry. The arm has the similar kind of lace or tattered look for the sleeve. Nothing on the midsection. Forgive me, there is something on the midsection. The midsection does have printing. The midsection is black, I believe. I think. And let me see. Or brown? It looks to me like there is printing, so this like line in here kind of feels like there is. And then we do have that special cloth piece. Oh, well, the back of the torso has kind of the back of the necklace, back of the belt, the shirt or the vest there, different stuff. And then we have the cloth piece that's got 4 holes. So you put like 2 on and then put the other 2 over on top of that, and then put that between the torso and the legs. And this one kind of almost looks like a skirt, but it could be a shirt. It could be something tied around the waist. It could be lots of different stuff. And it has kind of a tattered sort of look to it as well, which fits with the theme. Only the legs are actually super detailed, and they are dual molded, which is terrific. Just double checking there's not printing on the side that I'm missing. So we have these really, really cool legs that are printed kind of with really nice gold detail there. Even in the kind of midsection between the 2 legs has some great printing, great detail on there. Super fine lines. We have a little bit of pouch over here on this leg, so some asymmetry in there. And then they are dual molded with black on the bottom for the boots, and then we have a little bit of the black kind of printing coming up there to go up a little bit further onto that brown or reddish brown kind of color. I think this is great. So, like printing on the arms, printing on the legs, dual molded arms, this sort of like lace work or this sort of dot work that they did on the dual molded arms here. I don't know if I've seen done before. I think the color choices are really, really good. It's like subtle, stylish, nice, feels appropriate for the character. New animal mold here. I think people who love pirates and Lego pirates might, at least take elements from this that they really, really enjoy and can use. So I think that's a super win. Definitely happy to have that one. And we will keep going on to the next one. And I think we can sort of, through the process of elimination, figure out which ones I have left. Now, this is an interesting one because I believe this is sort of referencing something from a much, much older kind of Lego collectible minifigure, or an older series. I'm not positive. This is something that has been in lots of different sets, and I wonder if I should know what that is. That could be a reference, but we will see. So this is the longboarder person. I used to longboard. I don't do it as much anymore. I used to do it a ton. Still have my longboards, but this is cool. So one of the things you get here is a new longboard type of design. This is like one of the kind of, not drop down necessarily, but kind of these cut out longboards. Instead of having just like top mounted, this allows like the wheels on the trucks of the thing to allow like more carving and more leaning on the wheels here, so we don't like bottom out. And then longboards are oftentimes like a little more like flexible, so you don't want the board to bend down and the bottom of the board to hit the wheels, which would like probably stop the wheels, which would stop the board, and would not stop the rider, and they would go flying off. So has kind of this interesting shape here, kind of the cutout for the wheels, which is unique for longboarding, and I think not all longboards have that. Some just have risers and still just top mount stuff or whatever, but this is similar to a board that I used to ride. Color choice is all right. The wheels just kind of match. I think they're just the same color, unless I'm colorblind, which I am, but maybe those are different. Okay, so that's cool to see a new board. I think in the Lego Collectible Mini Figure Series 1 there was a skateboarder. Now, like, I've looked at the City skateboard set, and skateboards and scooters and skates and bikes and that stuff are in a lot of Lego City sets, for example, as well as some other stuff. So but cool to see kind of an updated version or a new version there. And then we have the minifigure. Again, I want to say this one's like sort of feminine presenting, but could very easily go in any other gender expression that one wants for this. And so we have this really, really nice hairpiece, great hair color, as well as the hat, kind of backward baseball cap there. Got the little tuft of hair coming out the front. This is dual molded, so that is very great. And then looking at the head, the minifigure face, we have, it looks to me like a little more pronounced lips on this character, which for whatever reason leads me to lean one way on their gender expression versus another, but it could be anything. Same for like the eyelashes, eyebrows. They do have like a band-aid on their face there, something like that. And then we have another face, which is maybe after they're, they're kind of smiling, kind of smirking. They still have the bandage there. Maybe they had just done a trick or bombed a big hill, or wiped out or whatever. So we have a couple different looks there. Do have a backpack on the back for that. And then looking at the torso, this is pretty interesting because I don't know what this is maybe supposed to be referencing here. So it's just kind of a white shirt. I would say it's almost like a baseball shirt, although it doesn't have like the 3/4 sleeves, but it has kind of like where there's one color for maybe the torso, the back and everything, and then the sleeves are a different color. I'm used to seeing that, especially with like white and then like a different color for these sleeves. It has this kind of like graffiti-esque kind of logo on there, and it looks to me, this is one of those things where it's like the same upside down as it is, and kind of front to back both ways. So I'm familiar with those just from like Dan Brown books, maybe like Da Vinci Code and stuff like that, or Angels and Demons. And I don't remember what they're called, but I want to say it's like CSO or OSO or something like that. I don't know what that is. It could be referencing something. It could not be. But I think it looks pretty cool, and I like that it is kind of one of these I'm never going to remember what they are, but one of those things. Then we do have printing on the arm, which has the same kind of logo, same kind of graffiti style there. No printing on the midsection, but we do have printing on the legs, so they're wearing maybe some gray kind of denim or chinos or something like that. And they got the pockets. They have some holes. I don't know if these are from wear and tear from wiping out and riding a lot, or if they were distressed like when they bought them. Could be either way, but interesting opportunity for storytelling. And then we do have printing for the feet to indicate shoes. And then we have printing on the side of the legs, so for kind of the seam and the stitching on the side, as well as the bottom for the black and then the white sort of sole of the shoes there. And that's the same around the other side. So that's really great to see, printing all the way down and then like printing all the way up to the edge, all the way over to the edge over here to join them up at the corner, which is executed well, and I wish they would do that for more different types of things. So that's really cool. Back of the torso for this one, very, very plain, but it does get covered up by the backpack there, and I think this is pretty great. It's cool for me personally. It's cool, like maybe to have, or certainly to have new boards and representing different kinds of hobbies and activities here and different types of people. So I think that's really, really great. And they can, pose with their board or carry it or whatever. So this is great to see that, and good detail. It is relatively simple. It's just a white torso, black minifigure arms, gray midsection, and legs, but there's some printing in there, and there's some fun extra stuff that make it a little bit more special. And we are down to the final two. We will see, because these last two, actually, if I do not have duplicates, these are some of the ones that I was like, ooh, I am interested in seeing that. That looks very cool to me. So this one's maybe going to require a little bit more building, but not a ton. So we will get this together, and this is great because this has some other references here that I think are quite nice for people that know. So we will see what this looks like all together here once we get it put together. And I actually think that's pretty well done. Oh, wow, cool. No way. All right. So this one is the Jetpack Racer, is what this called. So this is kind of a futuristic sort of sci-fi space thing, and the idea would be that it's sort of like a race car, but like in a suit. So you have like this jet suit and you use that to race, or like a race plane or something like that. But this is really, really cool. It almost looks like a well, some other, not some stuff from the Space minifigure series and some stuff from the ones before that, or it reminds me of like Colossus or different characters in like the Marvel ones that had like a mask like this. But really, really cool mask element, super futuristic. It is dual molded here with the like red translucent kind of at the rear and then the stripe all the way through there. And inside it looks like it's not translucent, but because it is like red and white, you can actually see through that. We got the number 3 on there. Really good shape for the molding of this, and I almost thought it was going to be triple molded with like 3 different colors, but it appears to only be 2, which is fine. Looking at the minifigure head piece here, so they have almost like an astronaut type thing. So underneath the helmet, they have like an additional kind of mask with like some breathing stuff here. We can just see their eyes kind of through this like visor area there. If we flip to the other side, we expose their mouth and maybe a little bit of their facial hair, so we can see it with kind of that mask removed just over the face there, which is very cool. And yeah, you can see the face through this. It's a little bit hard, but not impossible, so that is good. But pretty opaque, and then it's hard to get like light in there, but I think that works relatively well. So nice to see that. I like both of those faces a lot. And then on the back, we have the jetpack that goes kind of around the minifigure neck. And this is the part that you build separately. So it's some 1x1s. We use kind of that very thin bracket with the Technic pinhole or neck hole there, and then just one stud, but like very, very thin. The tile, the hollow stud, rounded 2/3 brick or 3/4 brick or whatever. A red stud here, hollow stud, and then the kind of light blue sort of cone piece, translucent piece there for like propulsion, which feels very like science fiction to me and futuristic. So that is very cool. And then we have the torso, which is like super detailed. The colors here are red and blue and white and a little bit of gray. So we have kind of this striping going on there. Kind of looks like maybe a pilot's uniform, something like that. Some different line weights, good detail throughout here, good detail on kind of these like harnesses or straps or different stuff like that. And it flows really, really well. Then we have printing on the arms. And this is really cool because there's a logo here and then a stripe and kind of maybe an elbow pad, another kind of line, and then a different logo underneath that. Same on the other side, just the black minifigure hands, maybe some gloves or something. Then we have just no printing on the midsection, but printing on the legs all the way through. So there's some asymmetry here. So the logo over there, we have the angled section, kind of knee pad section, printing down on the feet, and then we can follow this line as well as the like blue from up here. and we can see Octan written on there and have another kind of emblem or logo on this side. Same on the other side with the Octan. So this feels kind of like, again, a modern sort of race car type thing, where like Octan, the like, well, I think back in the day there was like a gas station or something like, and they maybe way back in the day sponsored different race cars and racetracks and different things in the Lego universe, Lego City, things like that. And imagining like way in the future them also doing that. Maybe they're still using fossil fuels, maybe they never were, and who knows. But I think it's a really nice reference to like Lego history there, while also being like a super like ultra modern kind of futuristic type of thing there. So really great to get the printing all the way down. And again, this one has printing all the way to the edge, even on the rounded part there, and then all the way to the edge. But then if you look on the back of the leg, they do not print those parts all the way to the edge, but up here we do, which is kind of interesting to see. Overall production work is pretty good. It looks like there's a little bit of a miss spot on this one leg with the extra kind of mountain logo there, kind of right on the mold or where the crease is. So that looks like a little bit of a miss spot, but not terrible. This side is better. Arm printing is really good. Helmet is super cool. If anything, my least favorite part is maybe the jetpack. It almost feels like it's too separated from the person there, and also maybe I would have liked it if it was a little bit wider. So it's a little bit of building, nothing like crazy, and I think that could be improved on. It's an easy enough like kind of modification to make to do an improved jetpack. There have been a lot of Lego jetpacks throughout the years, so cool to get the jetpack racer, which means if I did this correctly, I should know what the sixth one is here, and it is. So this is exciting to me. And I don't know if I need instructions for this one. I was really looking forward to this because it's got some nice elements to it. So this is very cool. Kind of get this all together here and see what we have. Oh, you know what? I think how does this hair work? What part goes in the front? I guess something like that. Okay. So okay, I'm a little less excited about this now, but it's still very, very cool. Here we have Cupid, a Cupid figure, the sort of Valentine's Day character, character from myth. I don't know if it's Greek or if it's Roman or whatever, but they've been depicted in many different ways and different stuff. So they do have here a heart tile, pretty common tile, but good use of it there. They also have the bow, Cupid's bow, and it is red, so that matches really, really nicely. And then we have the like Cupid figure here. So nice hair color here. The hair is interesting. I suppose you could kind of do this different ways, but not a ton. You don't want to like cover up the face too much, but I actually don't think, like right here, this is all that bad, all things considered. I don't know if that's even like, that seems like a real haircut to me, and maybe if you go over this way too, it can. So that's kind of interesting. I think I'll sort of talk about my disappointment here in a second. So looking at the face, we have kind of the heart eyes and a big smile, some freckles on there. We do have an alternate face, which is just kind of the freckled face with a smile there, and something like that. I think, from the image, And the way that the hair works here, I almost thought it was like supposed to look like an evil Cupid or like a mischievous Cupid, which would make sense to a certain degree. And I don't know if it really is, because without the hair, I don't get that at all. But if the hair is positioned just right, it makes the eyes and the eyebrows kind of angled in a way, paired with the mouth there. It makes it look like much more sinister to me. So this looks like it has not necessarily heart eyes, but like red glowing eyes, and is like a maniacal laugh and stuff like that. And even on the other one, which is a relatively, you know, basic face with the hair kind of angling the eyes and the eyebrows a little more, this can look kind of aggressive and snarky too. And I don't know if it's really intended to. Actually, if you turn the hair a little bit, like I was sort of experimenting with, you can avoid that a little bit. So I do like it with the hair, maybe the way that it quote unquote is like on the official images here. If you were to kind of spin it just a little bit, you can maybe see more of the hearts and read that. You know, if it's like perfectly centered there, it just feels to me a little different. And I was excited for it to be different, or I thought maybe there would be like one face where it's sort of evil Cupid and one face where it's not, but that doesn't appear to be what was intended, at least to me. We do have the wings, I think. I don't know if these are new or not. It's two pieces, so that smaller bracket piece that can go around a minifigure neck, and then we just stud this on. So we have kind of like layers of wings here, same on the other side. I don't know if that's a new piece. It's pretty good. Looking at the torso, they are wearing kind of a toga, sort of a robe over just one side. They have a pin that, or something that looks like or a brooch maybe, that's like a heart with an arrow going through it. They have a red kind of sash or tie around their waist. This arm is just bare. This arm has kind of a band around the upper sort of bicep, shoulder-ish area there with gold. No midsection for this one, because again, this one's on the shortest legs, but they are dual molded. No printing on the legs at all, but we do have the dual molded legs there. Looking at the back of the torso, we have the same kind of cutout for the shoulder, for the like toga kind of robe there, and all of that. And then, you know, that does get covered up a good amount with the wings. And I can get this back together here, and that is the Cupid. I think, you know, this is another good idea, and I executed pretty well, but it did sort of leave me a little disappointed, just because when I was reading from the official images are not, I don't think, the intended sort of way to look at that. And that is all 12 of the LEGO Collectible Mini Figures Series 27. So this was super fun. And just quickly, I know these videos have been going on a little bit longer than maybe people like. Let me take a moment to think about my favorites. And I'm going to kind of do this. I don't want to be like too, yeah, it's hard. Well, I'll just say my favorites and go from there, and see, because, and maybe that's, what is that? Is that 6? And then I'll do something maybe like this, here and here. So I think this is like the order that I would put them in, starting kind of up at the top there. I think my top ones are pretty close. So my number one, I'm putting the Wolfpack Beastmaster. I'm assuming a lot of people are going to do that, and I don't want to just be like the same as everybody else. But because of the nostalgia factor, because of the quality of the minifigure and everything you get in there, I was really happy to see the new cape and everything, and certainly the new wolf thing, which I believe is new, and just all the other stuff going on here with the arm printing and dual molded arms and dual molded legs and all of the stuff this has going for it. I'm going to put that at number one. Pretty close second is going to be the Steampunk Inventor. I think there's great detail on this, and it's a great idea. Then, for me, this is coming in because it's not like the most detailed thing, but I really like horror and stuff. And so the Boogeyman is up there. So those are like pretty much clear top three, or maybe clear top five, or clear top six. I would say, the Jetpack Racer is pretty good. Maybe I'll actually switch those around, something like that. Maybe I'll switch these around too. And then after the Boogeyman, I'll have the Crazy Cat Lover, or the Cat Lover here, because I love cats. Great to get the new kind of cat here. And I like the detail on this. This is one of the first ones, or is the first one I opened. And I just really think this is good, and I like the kind of fur on the pants there. They need a lint roller, which is hilarious. I think this one's really good with the new bird, printing all the way down, dual molded arms, dual molded legs. I really liked the printing for the sleeve there. The racer, because of the octan and the references, plus the detail, and I like the kind of sci-fi stuff there. So I think, those are kind of my clear top ones. Probably these three are just beneath, like a tier below these ones here. I could see a lot of people putting this one up, further or higher up, and certainly some of these other ones too. I think the next one, which is just a slight step lower, is the plush toy collector here. I think it's cute, good idea, executed pretty well, but isn't like super relevant to me. Then the telescope person or astronomer person, I was really happy to see more representation for differently abled people and differently bodied people here, which was nice. The build for the telescope was pretty cool. So this one was good. The next one is going to be, actually, let me switch these around. Let me do it like this. The next one, I would say the longboarder. I have a personal connection with this, and I think there's some good stuff in here. Great to get the new board piece. Love the printing all the way around for the shoes there and everything. Cool hat and hair piece. Then Cupid. I'm just disappointed. I wanted Evil Cupid. I can kind of make it look like that. I don't know. Maybe I'm the only one who thinks that, but it looks like that to me. And like Sinister Cupid. But I think it's supposed to be kind of cutesy Cupid. And so that left me with a bit of a disappointment. If this was intended to be like spooky Cupid, I probably would have moved it up a little bit. And then at the bottom, I'm going to have in the final spots, the hamster costume fan, and then the pterodactyl costume fan. And that's not because they're not good. I could see people loving the anything costume fans in these because they're cute and they're fun and they can be imaginative, and they're a minifigure in a costume instead of this isn't a steampunk costume, this is somebody in a steampunk universe. This isn't a boogeyman costume, it is like a boogeyman, and these are just costumes, and that's kind of its own little thing here too. New head pieces and stuff, the new arm pieces, and they're just a little more on the basic side for me, so not like a ton going on in the back or anything like that. I think they are good. The production work feels pretty good. They're just slightly lower to me. They're not the kind of minifigure that I get super excited about when a new series is coming out. And so this is kind of my general ranking and feeling about that. And I think that's everything. Not a ton of extra pieces for this one. Very, very few. So that's kind of, fewer than, previous ones, I would say. So that's interesting, and very grateful to be able to look at these and have no duplicates, because I scanned the things, did it properly, which is nice. And this was great. This is a good series because for the most part, I don't even know how far below, like in terms of ranking these, it is hard, it is difficult, because this is pretty good. Sometimes there are Lego CMF, especially like not the like themed ones like space, or the IP ones like Marvel or Dungeons and Dragons and stuff like that, that there'll be like a couple characters that are really, really great, like the Vampiric Knight or the Goat Herder or something. And then there'll be some characters that are like kind of lame or don't feel as high quality. I mean, for whatever reason, I did not like that like train box costume person, which I think was that similar set. Or there's just different stuff, and maybe different levels of production and levels of detail and stuff like that. So there are occasionally like one figure that's going to be the one that most people want. And in this case, there is a figure in here that I think is going to be one that people are going to go to the stores, scan, find all of the copies of it, buy them all, and leave the rest. So it might make it difficult for other people who want the complete set to be able to do it. And that one is the Beastmaster, or the Wolfpack Beastmaster. I did put that up in my top. I think it's really, really good. Unfortunately, I think there are going to be people selling these for, more than the $5 retail price. Maybe they are worth that. I'm not going to say at this point, but I'm just bringing that up because I actually feel like the consistency and the quality, the imagination, the production, the amount of detail is like closer in this one than it has been in other times. Like I felt that the like Goat Herder and the Vampiric Knight thing from maybe a couple series ago were standouts compared to some of the other ones, and the other ones felt really lackluster. I would say the general like level of quality across the series has like stepped up in this case. So the difference between like the number my favorite one and maybe my least favorite one out of this series is smaller than it has been in the past, and that's even more like noticeable when thinking about like each one to each one, because I do love the steampunk inventor, I do love the pirate, I do love the cat person, I do love Boogeyman, I do love, so there are a lot of really good things here. So I think that is a great step, and I hope to see these kind of non-IP, just Lego numbered series minifigures continue to have this level of imagination, this level of variety, and new pieces and new animals and new prints, and just more representation and more kind of different themes, and I think this is a great kind of representation of that. So very, very fun for me. I liked doing this a lot, so that is really great. And I think that's it. So if you like this video, please click the thumbs up and give it a like. If you like my other videos, click the subscribe button down below so you can stay up to date on all the LEGO videos I'll be doing here in the future, including more CMFs when they come out, and then tons of other LEGO sets from all different themes, all different shapes, size, price point, piece count, tons of different stuff. So subscribe so you don't miss any of my upcoming LEGO videos. That helps me a lot. Subscriptions are great. It's free. It helps my videos reach more people, which is a huge help. So thank you very much. Maybe consider subscribing if you're not already. And then if you wanted to support the channel in a different way, you can give money to the channel. You can do that here on YouTube with membership supers and thanks. You can do it on Patreon, which is linked in the video description, linked on my channel page. There's also a Buy Me a Coffee link and some other links in the description, so you can maybe check those out. All that helps financially support the channel, because I do pay for everything with my own money, and I don't make nearly enough money to from any given video to pay for whatever the video is about, but if I can kind of narrow that gap, that would be extremely helpful. So if you want to support the channel, there's avenues for that. But I'm just going to keep doing these. I'm going to keep making videos. I'm going to keep building Lego and talking about it no matter what. So anyway, it's not needed, but there are ways that it can be done. So thank you very much, and with all that said, until next time, thanks, bye.